All right, so there are actually three types of interactions that we're gonna be going over, and this is one of my favorite things to actually talk about because I'm a big nerd and I love the calculations that go with it. So stay tuned. All right, the first one is an elastic collision. Elastic, think about like an elastic rubber band. Bouncy, right? An elastic object has some sort of stretch or bounce to it. So these elastic collisions, the objects bounce off of each other. So maybe at first, the objects are moving towards each other, and then all of a sudden they collide, and then after the collision, the objects are now moving away from each other. So they bounce off, essentially. In red and blue is the equation that corresponds with this elastic collision. So basically it's saying that the mass of the first object times the velocity of that object is, and you add in also the mass of the second object and the velocity of it is equal to the mass of the first object times its final velocity plus the mass of the second object times the final velocity. So as you can see, the initial velocities are all on the left-hand side of the equation. All the final velocities are on the right-hand side of the equation, because on the left-hand side of the equation, this actually represents the before the two objects actually collide. On the right-hand side, this represents the after. So, M1 is the mass of object 1, M2 is the mass of object 2, I always stands for initial, F stands for final, and when you do plug in your velocities for all four parts, make sure that you use the positive and negative signs to show the direction. So again, positive would mean that it's moving to the right, or maybe it would be east, and then negative would then be left or west. So make sure you put in those positive and negative signs so that way you can get the correct answer for whatever part that you are solving for. And for these elastic collisions, they are considered perfect, meaning kinetic energy is conserved. So kinetic energy remains the same from before and after the collision. Remember, kinetic energy is the moving energy. So kinetic energy is moving energy. When objects are in motion, they have kinetic energy. All right, let's go ahead and solve for one example. So for this elastic collision, again, your equation that we're going to be using is written right here. All right, so a 2-kilogram ball strikes another ball. Okay, so already I'm going to go ahead and label this as mass 1. I know that this is the first object that I have, and it's the mass. So this 2-kilogram ball strikes another ball head on at an initial velocity of positive 2 meters per second. So this is going to be the VI of object 1. So you can do V1I, VI1, it doesn't matter to me. And it is positive because the object is moving to the right. If the second ball had a mass of 3 kilograms, so I know 3 kilograms is for the mass of object 2, and it was initially moving at -1 meters per second. So that is the velocity of the second object initially. And negative sign, so this ball is moving to the left. What is the final velocity of the 2-kilogram ball if the final velocity of the 3-kilogram ball is now positive 1.4 meters per second? So this is our final velocity of that second object. We want to know what is the final velocity of that first object. So really we're looking for the VF of the first object. Okay, so I know it's a lot, but breaking it down, labeling it yourself, writing down your givens, those are things that are very important to help you know, okay, what number goes with what variable. You could also draw a picture. So you could have a picture of a 2-kilogram ball, so a ball with a 2 in the middle, and then you have a slightly bigger ball with a 3 in the middle. The 2-kilogram ball is moving to the right at 2 meters per second. The 3-kilogram ball was moving to the left at 1 meter per second. So that's another way that you can have a visual as well. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump in and plug in based on this equation here. So remember, we're plugging in exactly how this equation is set up. So we're just substituting. So for this first part, M1 times V1 initial, just this first part. So I know that the mass of the first object was 2 kilograms, so 2 kg, times the velocity that this first object has. And we know that the V1I was positive 2 meters per second, so 2 meters per second. All right, so that's that first part. Now for the second part, the second object, M2 times V2 initial. So we are going to add the mass of the second object was 3 kilograms times, times the velocity that that object started off with, and that is -1 meters per second, equals, okay, so now we're going to start looking at the final. So what happened after they collided and they bounced off of each other? So the mass of object 1, again, was 2, times what was the final velocity of object 1? Well, remember, it's asking what is the final velocity of the 2 kilogram ball. That's what we're looking for. So I'm just going to leave a big V there and know that I have to solve for it. All right, and then our last part. So our last part, I'm going to use purple. The mass of that second object was 3 kilograms times, and then the final velocity was 1.4. Okay, barely had room. So now you just need to simplify. So 2 times 2 is 4 kilogram meter per second, plus 3 times -1, now that's going to give you a -3 kilogram meter per second, equals 2 times V, so that's just 2V. We can't do anything with that quite yet, but we're going to get there. 3 times 1.4, and that is 4.2 kilogram per times meter per second. Okay, so now we can start simplifying a little bit more. So I'm just going to go ahead and write in black because we're just simplifying at this point. So 4 plus -3. So really 4 minus 3. So we have 1 kilogram meter per second equals 2V plus 4.2. So really I could go ahead and simplify on that. Oh no, I can't yet. Just kidding. I got ahead of myself. So 2V plus 4.2 kilogram meter per second. So we do need to get V on a side by itself. So this is just your regular algebra. So subtract by 4.2, subtract. Oop, had to shift the screen a little bit just to give me some room to write. So subtract by 4.2 on both sides. So then you end up with 1 minus 4.2. This cancels out on this side. So we have -3.2 equals 2V. All right, now we're going to divide by 2, so that way we can get V on a side by itself. Divide by 2. So 3.2 divided by 2 is 1.6, and it is negative. And we were looking for velocity, so velocity is in meters per second. I know I lost units for a second, but yeah, just kind of ran out of room. So if you're following along more closely than I was with your units, the 2 would have been kilograms. So whenever you divide by 2 kilograms on both sides, and this would have been 3.2 kilograms meter per second, the kilograms cancel out, and that leaves you with meters per second. Okay, so that means that the final velocity of the ball the ball that was originally moving to the right, if you follow me to the top of the screen, that ball is now moving to the left, which makes sense because they bounce off of each other. All right. So yes, we did have the right answer. That negative sign is there, just not right beside it. So if you need to see it actually typed out, go ahead and pause the screen, take a look at it here. Okay. Second type of interaction is an inelastic collision. So this is the opposite of elastic. This is where the objects actually stick together. So two cars collide and hit each other, their bumpers lock, and then they continue moving together. So the two objects hit, and then they stick. So you'll notice that the equation looks a little bit different. The left-hand side looks the same as before. So your before is the same. However, your after part of your collision is obviously different because the objects are sticking together. So this part is where you add the masses because, you know, the masses are sticking together. And then their final velocity is being multiplied. So V1 and 2F is the final velocity of objects 1 and 2 stuck together after the collision. Again, make sure you're using your positive and negative velocities to show direction. And with this type of scenario, because the objects are sticking together, kinetic energy, that moving energy, is not conserved. So it is imperfect or not perfect. Note the velocity 1 and 2 final, so those objects sticking together, however fast that they move or however slow that they move, that velocity is not the same as just adding those initial velocities together. So that is not the same thing. You actually have to solve for it. So we're actually going to solve for it right here, right now. A 500 kilogram car is driving at a velocity of 10 meters per second. So this would be your M1, this would be your V1 initial. Another car, which is 700 kilograms, so M2, hits it from behind at a velocity of 25 meters per second, and that is going to be your V2. And the two cars interlock bumpers. What is the resulting velocity of the two cars? So I'm just going to go ahead and start plugging in, so hang tight. So I went ahead and highlighted the first object's mass and velocities in green, and I went ahead and plugged it in. So we'll have 500 kilograms times 10 meters per second. And then I'm going to plug in for the second object. So we're going to be doing this part next. Mass of the second object of 700 kilograms. So I plugged that in here. And then the velocity of that second object is 25 meters per second. So I plugged that in. Now our next part is just for us to add the masses together. So this is something that we can do ourselves. So 500 plus 700 would give you 1,200 kilograms. And then we need to find out what that final velocity is. So at this point, your next step is just to simplify. So I went ahead and simplified. So 500 times 10 is 5,000. The units is kilograms times meters per second because we're multiplying those units. Plus, it was 700 times 25. That number came out to be 17,500. And then it's, again, kilograms times meters per second equals, your right-hand side looks the same. So we now need to simplify again. So 5,000 plus 17,500. This is going to give us 22,500 kilograms meters per second equals 1,200 kilograms times your velocity. And as always, we need to get velocity on a side by itself. So we need to divide by this 1,200 kilograms. So that way all that cancels out on the right hand side. And what we do to that side, we have to do to this side. So those units will cancel out. So then we're left with 22,500 divided by 1,200. Okay, and that gives us 18.75. And our leftover units after the kilograms cancel out would be meters per second, which makes sense because we were looking for the final velocity of 1 and 2 now that they're combined. Okay, there it is if you want to pause it and look at it a little bit longer. I'm going to make a part 2 for our third type of interaction. Stay tuned.